Look, I've only shit my pants once as an adult in my entire life. And yesterday might have been the second time. Guys, Metroid Prime Remastered is out. Go buy it! No, seriously, it's so good. So I've been trying to get my friends because they know I am a Metroid Prime nerd. It's my favorite game of all time. Anybody that knows me, it's my favorite. I've tried getting my friends to play it for years, and I get it. It's hard to play, it's on a GameCube, it's an outdated console. You either have to borrow it from a friend, or, play it online somehow. I get it. But now, it's here on the Switch. No more excuses. Everyone go buy this game. And I'm going to give you my review too. Because I've played through the tutorial, I should say. I've played this game many, many times. But I'm just, from my perspective of the tutorial, I'm going to give you my overall thoughts on the game. And I think I will revamp my Metroid Prime series and pick up where I left off with the Remastered Edition. But I'm super busy. I'm in grad school. I got 2 jobs that I'm doing right now. So this, as much as I love content creation, it's kind of on the back burner for the moment. But I just had to get this video out because it just dropped. So yeah, I'm just gonna stop talking and let you guys watch the beginning intro to Metroid Prime Remastered. So first of all, I want to talk about the mechanics. And for the most part, they're the same. I think some of the buttons may be laid out a little bit different than from the original, as far as what do you use to shoot, or what do you use to go into Morph Ball, or how do you shoot rockets or missiles. Overall, I'm pleasantly surprised, and I'm really excited that they ended up using the C-stick as a way to toggle your point of view, because in the at least the first two original Metroid Prime games, Metroid Prime 1 and Metroid Prime 2 Echoes, the way that you looked, it was very, how do I put it, very, like, prehistoric almost. And it really shows. It's one of the, like, the first, and, like, I wouldn't say the first, because obviously you had, like, GoldenEye and some other, like, really great first-person shooters for the Nintendo 64. But in regards to looking at how modern first-person shooters go, this kind of paved the way for some of those kind of games. You typically, I think it was you push the left trigger, and that would have Samus basically with her left hand hold her right arm cannon. And then from there, you could toggle with the normal stick. So basically, if you were trying to aim in any direction, you would have to stop moving completely, and then you would have to toggle the left trigger, and then be able to move and point in whatever direction you're trying to shoot. So for me, I was very used to that. It was the first, one of the first-person shooters I've ever played, and it worked. But after playing games that have, come out here in recent years, within our most recent time frame, you see Call of Duty and all that stuff, and I think they did a fantastic job in trying to keep up with some of those games by incorporating that mechanic that everyone's so used to now. So props on you for making that happen. What I also really enjoy, and I think this was a fantastic point, and I don't think I'm gonna use these mechanics on my first playthrough, but for my second playthrough, there's an option where you can actually use the motion sensor in your controller. So like I play with, it's technically a Pro controller, but it's designed like a GameCube controller. So, but anyways, I use the GameCube controller, and it has a motion sensor, so you can play it like the trilogy that was released back on the Wii. No, I don't remember when it was, a long time ago. 2009, something like that. But you can use the motion control instead of using the C-stick to actually aim, which I find that very interesting, and it kind of brings back that nostalgia from playing Metroid Prime 3 Corruption. No, I wasn't as big of a fan doing it that way with like the Wii remote as I was with just like a controller in my hand. But I think this is kind of the best of both worlds right here. So, like I said, I'm going to try the first, I'll just use the C-stick for my aiming first playthrough. Maybe I'll try a second playthrough where I don't. I don't think it's going to overall affect the replayability or the overall just enjoyment of playing this kind of game. So, that's what I got to say on that. And there was some parts where I kind of forgot, as far as what mechanics to use, as far as what buttons to push for what action I'm trying to get Samus to do. But I think over time it'll come pretty smoothly. So overall, once again, great job. The second thing I want to point out is the aesthetics. Holy shit, the aesthetics are amazing. Yeah, this is what we've been waiting for years. And don't get me wrong, the original Metroid Prime, when you consider its age, it came out in 2002. So at this point, it's over 20 years old. And when you play the original, it holds up so well because, yeah, while some of the graphical, designs and issues may not hold up as well as, like, obviously current day games, the thing that kept it so current is because it immersed you into the world of Talon 4. And just small examples like when you're looking up in Talon Overworld and it's raining outside and you see the rain splatter on your helmet, or like when you shoot a charge beam at a flat surface, then you can see Samus's reflection through the visor. They kept both of those mechanics in the game, which I'm super excited about, super happy that they did that. And there'll be other things too, like I know there's steam in the game and like lava plumes and all that stuff that kind of like messes your visor up. I'm assuming since they kept those other two things I already mentioned, they'll probably keep everything from the original. The graphic overhaul was unreal. Even just like looking at the rocks in the very opening scene that are like, colliding towards Talon 4. And before, like when you play the original, it's like it kind of looks like a block, right? Or it looks like some sort of jagged geometrical shape that's got a little bit of like flame around it. And that's fine, but they actually put detail into it, so it looks like they're asteroids. Or even just looking at the overworld world of Talon. Like, in the originals, it looked just like a big ball of orange, like kind of like a blue ring around it. But now when you actually look at Talon 4, you can kind of pick out like details of the continent. You can see like where the desert is, or you can see like where there's different land masses and structures and all that kind of stuff. So that part I was super excited about. The frigate spaceship, amazing. And all the technology inside was fantastic. Like, they did a great job with the electricity. It made it seem like it was real, especially when it's hitting your suit, kind of messing up, your visuals, your perspective on the world. So, really good job on that. And, man, it just, like anything else I say at this point, I'm just kind of repeating myself, but the enemy overhaul was amazing for the graphics. I think the part that I was actually the most excited for, besides getting to see Talon and all the detail in Talon 4, was actually landing on the surface. And that's kind of towards the end of the playthrough, but they did such a good job with making the flora kind of pop. And some of the like little grass creatures that live there. They gave it more life, they gave it more detail. Instead of just like looking up into the sky and you see, like 2 red bulbs that are kind of in the shape of a diamond. Well, now it's this symmetrical yet unsymmetrical bulb that intertwines with all these other vines that are sitting up in the tree, right? So, I don't know, man. I guess the last thing, Samus's suit. I'm really glad they stuck to the original design from the Prime games. She's got the big shoulder pads, she's got the green visor. I would have actually been okay if they had an option on the main screen to be able to change into like the Metroid Dread suit. I think that'd be a super unique concept because, for you guys that don't know, when Metroid Prime originally released, it released around the same time as Metroid Fusion. And if you had the Game Boy Advance like expansion pack or whatever it was called, you could hook it up into your GameCube, and you could actually transfer the Fusion suit from Metroid Fusion and play with the blue suit in Metroid Prime. And I thought that was just amazing. So I think they kind of dropped the ball. I mean, it's not a big deal. It's really not. It's just like a very tiny nitpicky thing. But I think it would have been really interesting to incorporate and kind of build that franchise in regards to, hey, we released Dread recently, and we want to keep that fan base, so why don't we add, the suit from Dread as an option. If, like, let's say, Nintendo could tell that you had both games purchased, then when you go into the main menu, it's like, oh, nice, like, I can pick the suit as an option. So that's just one small thing. But in regards to, like, her suit, I think they overhauled it a ton. You can actually see, like, some more of the shadows and contours where, like, her shoulder plates are, and you can see a little bit more past her visor, like, as far as looking into her face, her eyes, that kind of stuff. So they did a phenomenal job with that, and just overall touching up kind of the edges. Everything looks smooth. It looks like it's meant to be there, right? And there's only so much you can do with early 2000s technology for the GameCube. Still, once again, absolutely love the graphics from that game, but they just took it 10 steps further. So that's my overall review. Like I said, I've played the game before, and it looks like they're going to stay true to the actual main story because everything that occurred in the tutorial was spot on from the original. So I'm really excited to see that kind of play out the way it did. And Yeah, I'll probably revamp the series like I was saying before. So I'll catch up to where I was on my YouTube channel with Metroid Prime Remaster, and then continue off playing the remastered edition. So I just don't have the time to go back and, you know, replay and upload, you know, several more videos that are an hour, 2 hour long, and just to get back to where I left off at. So for me, it just makes more sense because of my schedule. But before I go, I want to give a shout out to wman 1011, ledpipe 45, and CasualDistractions, all on Twitch. They're amazing. For ledpipe and for wman, go buy Metroid Prime Remastered. Okay, thanks guys. Bye.